How you gonna go?
All right, this is the reading light underneath here. This is if you want the lights to come on when you open the door, and this turns that off. This is the lights right here. These are the lights in the back corners of the car. This is the reading light here on the right. And then this is if you have questions about the app. There's a whole team dedicated to that. This is if you get in an accident, you can hit that SOS button and an emergency assistant will be on the line to help you. This is for the sunroof. This opens it, pressing it this way. This closes it, pressing it down. And you can tilt it up by pressing up right here and then bringing it back down. This is your sunglass holder. This is, you can get the little extra ray of sunshine by pulling this out, and you got the double sun visor. Down here you got your climate control, temperature, menu tells you what's going on with your climate control. This is your fan speed from 0 to 7, and it tells you up here what your fan speed is at. Auto will get the fan speed to the temperature that you set it up to. This is the maximum defrost for the front windshield. This is the hazard lights. This is the maximum defrost for the rear windshield. This recirculates the air that's in the car. AC. Sync makes the temperature on the right side the same as the driver's side. So they'll both go to 67. And the temperature on the right side. This is a wireless charging pad just to set your phone down on. These are two USB-C ports. This is the port that you need to be plugged into in order for Apple CarPlay to work, is that one. This is an extra 12 volt here. You can open these up and press these buttons here to bring those out. The dynamic button switches you between the sport, comfort, individual, and economy modes. Individual, you can set the car steering to be tighter, or the suspension to be tighter, or the engine to drive different, so it'll drive the way you want. But most of the time you'll switch between sport and comfort. This button parks the car. It'll find parking spots. It'll show up on the screen here where it's found the spot, and you just click on it, put it in reverse, and then let it do its thing. This button right here is vehicle settings. If you hold down this button down for a couple seconds, it will bring up the surround view camera on the screen. The button below that is the favorites. This will, you can save anything as a favorite. You have to be highlighted on the item on the screen and hold down this button for a couple seconds and it will save it. And most importantly would be navigation locations. This button is the volume. It mutes it and unmutes it by pressing it. You can also hold down this button and it will turn off the display or turn off the system. If you turn off the display, you can still listen to the radio and have the screen off at the same time. This is your navigation map, radio, and toggles between radio and media. Media is Bluetooth and the songs that are on your phone or any USB port. And then the telephone will connect your phone. So if you click telephone, you can go to connect new device, and then you have to go to settings and then Bluetooth on your phone. Once you get to Bluetooth, you can click on your iPhone, it'll show up on the screen, and then on your phone you just hit pair and allow, and then the phone will be connected. On the steering wheel, you can answer the phone by pressing the button up and then hang up by pressing this button down, and you can call somebody by pressing this button up, and then it will talk to the car. If this comes up and the Hey Mercedes feature comes up and you don't want it to, you can hit the back button and it will cancel it. You also have another volume button in here where you can press in to mute it and unmute it, and then up or down for volume. And then this is another favorites button, which you can, these are the preset favorites that are already in the car. These three buttons, the home and the touchpad and the back button, are the only buttons that control everything up on this digital instrument cluster. So you need to make sure you get good at using this little black touchpad on swiping in the direction you want to go, swiping down or up, and then pressing in to select what you want. This is cruise control, on, off, by moving this button down. So if you want to get your cruise control going, you press on and set will set your speed. And then you got resume and cancel for the cruise. You got paddle shifters here, which are this plus and minus sign. And this gear is what puts you into drive, all the way down for drive, all the way up for reverse, clicking the button in on the end to put it in park, and just slightly down a little bit for neutral. This stalk on this side, if you press the button, does the windshield wipers once. If you hold it in, it does the wash for the windshield. And then if you put it on the 0, that means the windshield wipers are off. The 3 or the 4 dots is the rain sensing windshield wipers. And these last 2 would just make the windshield wipers go faster. This is your back windshield wiper, or these 2 buttons. And then moving this button forward will do the brights, and you'll notice them come on up on the screen right here. And then pulling it this way will flash the brights. So on this side, you have your parking brake, which is right here. And if you push it in, it'll tell you that your parking brake is on. If you pull it, it'll tell you the parking brake is off. And you push it, and it'll come back on. That'll come on and off automatically when you put the car into drive and when you turn the car off. There's your lights. So I'd leave the lights in auto, but if you want to turn them on specifically, just move them to the right. And over here are your parking lights and your daytime running lights. This is your back rear fog light. You do not need to worry about that. But if it comes on, you'll see it on the screen right there. And this will that'll take it off. You don't need that on during anytime. It's just for parking on the side of the road if you're in Europe. Over here you got your seat settings. So you got your heated seats, and there's 3 different settings for that. And then there's ventilated seats here if you have that button. 3 settings for that. This is the memory for the seats here. You can press M and then 1. That'll save the seat, the mirrors, the steering wheel, and the lumbar. And then the seat has 12 different ways of adjusting. So you got the headrest up or down, the backrest forward or back. You got the whole seat will go up or down, and the seat will move forward and back. And then the front of the seat will move up or down. And then you can extend the seat with this button right above the other. This is child lock down here. These are your windows, obviously. This does the mirrors here in the top left. You have to click that button to do the left mirror. This one does the right mirror, and this one folds the mirrors in. You press the same button here to make them fold back out. So you can change the designs of everything up on the screen here if you go to the home button, and you can choose something other than trip, and then you swipe to the right and left with this black square to go to designs. Maybe you want the car looking in sport mode. So you can also change everything within these dials to like 7 different things for the middle, left, and right. Maybe you want the navigation showing up on the right side. And then on the left side, it's changeable too, and same in the middle here. So most of the time, people want the digital display, the miles per hour, some sort of navigation showing up here on this screen. So on this side, we did our phone, and then on navigation, you can change the orientation of this map by pressing this button. And then this is a top-down view where the compass is always pointing north. This one's a 3D view where you can see the clouds out in the field of vision. And then you got the top-down view, which is the 2D view. And you can zoom in or out on the screen by doing it like you would on your iPhone. Same thing on this touchpad down here. You can zoom in and out with this too. And this button here shows you all your different parking garages in the area. And you can cycle down through here, and it shows you on the left exactly where they are. The second button from the top is the compass. It tells you your direction and anything you want to know, compass related. This is food, so you can see anywhere on here, different restaurants and places to eat, and same thing as the parking garages. It just shows you how far away they are and where they're located on the map. The Where To button allows you to go to previous destinations, and if I wanted to save Starbucks as a favorite, because I go there all the time, I would hold down the button on the screen until I can click it as Save a Favorite. Alternatively, you can also hold down the Favorites button for a couple seconds, and then you can create a new favorite as well. Alright, you can type in your addresses here, or you can tell the car to take you to a certain address by saying, "Hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
Take me to a Starbucks." And it'll give you 3 different Starbucks on the screen that you can choose from. And depending on which one you want to go to, you just tell it,
"Here is what I found. Where do you want to go?"
Number 2.
"I am calculating the route."
Now it's taken you to the second closest Starbucks. Alright, you can cancel the route guidance by going to this flag. And you can turn off her voice by clicking the voice button. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about navigation. Alright, moving on to radio. You can save a radio station here by pressing the plus sign. And you have 20 different presets that you can save. If you hit these arrows to the left and right, it'll go on to the next 5. You can cycle through the stations by just putting your finger on the screen. You can also change the stations without, you can still be listening to the radio station here, but if you click that's probably the most important button in radio, is this button right here. And it'll let you search through all the different radio stations here without changing the current station that you're on. The back button is what I'm pressing here to bring us back 1 page. You got Sirius, FM, and AM here at the top, and it'll have the exact same layout. You have this gear button here that allows you to change the treble, bass, and midtones if you go over to Burmeister. And then you can also change the balance of fader, the sound focus, and the way that sound sounds. Now, if you're in your car, you want to make sure you turn on the surround sound, because it's going to make it sound a lot better overall if it's on surround. And they do not, and when you buy your car, it doesn't originally set up this way. You got to make sure you change it. So we'll go back. There's also alerts. If you have favorite sports teams, you can go to Sport Alerts, hit the plus sign, and pick your favorite team, whether it's football, hockey, basketball, and it lists whatever team you want here. And then it'll give you Sport Alerts, and you can, cancel it at any time with the trash can. So that's pretty much it with the radio. Moving on to media, or just the songs that are on your phone, and it'll display it just like it does for radio. And all the artists and everything that's on your phone will show up under this musical note if you have them. Comfort will, if you go under seat comfort, seat kinetics will slowly move the driver's seat rest and seat surface and backrest around, and you can set it up for how long you want it to go for. And that just slowly moves your seat around, because doctors say the next position is the best position. So you can set it up for whatever duration of time you want. Seat heating balance, if you want more of the backrest to be heated or more of the seat surface to be done, you can set that up exactly the way you want it. Ambient lighting is very neat. That's the color that you're seeing right now, and at nighttime it'll get a lot brighter, but you can change that brightness here by changing it from 0% all the way up to 100%. And then you can pick your color. You can put it on a multicolor, and usually go down to color mix here to cycle through a bunch of different colors. But if you take it off of multicolor, you can pick whatever color you want. There's pink, red, green. So however you're feeling that day. Most of the time I'm feeling pretty peachy with blue. So I'll go back. Info just gives you a little info. You can actually have a digital operator's manual on the car. So if you prefer to read on the screen rather than on a manual, this will have some quick tips to get through things pretty fast for you. We'll go continue. Quick start. It just has a bunch of different stuff. If you want more steps on how to connect that phone, this has almost everything you want to know. All right. So under engine here, it gives you horsepower and your torque as you're going down the road. Your vehicle will have your grade that your car is driving on right now. So we're on a -4% grade. And then that's pretty much all you need to know with info, not a whole lot of major information. And then settings will have your automatic car wash mode, electronic stability program. You want to leave that on for your traction control. These are the parking sensors. If you do not want the car to beep when you go through a car wash, you gotta click that and turn that off. Or if you're pulling in your garage and you don't want it to beep, you click on that and that'll take it off or on. Assistance on the camera and parking. You can have the car warn you early whenever you get close to stuff. That'll whenever you have the surround view going on, that shows it yellow, it'll beep around the vehicle. This will take that off to where it's only gonna beep whenever you get right up on something. And you can change the pitch and the volume of how that sounds. Active brake assist is on medium, which if you are going to be coming up on somebody, the car will stop, and you can change the different settings. And then if you fall asleep, the car can bring the car to a stop, so that is able to be changed on its sensitivity. And then you want your blind spot assist on. Dynamic select is where you go to change the individual configuration for the steering, the drive, and you can basically don't need to worry about this if you enjoy driving in the comfort or sport modes. Automatic seat adjustment is important because you need to swipe this down to get to the easy entry exit. This will always be configured on off when you get your car. You want to click it on steering wheel and seat so it's easier to get in and out of the car. And then you can have the seat adjust itself whenever you get in. You can have the car beep whenever you lock it. Doors will lock when you're going down the road, and mirrors will fold in here when you lock the car. Under light settings here, you can set the car up for a certain amount of seconds that you have the lights, the exterior lighting delay, and then you can also get to the ambient lighting through the vehicle settings under light. System, if you want to turn the brightness up on the screen a little bit, that will be under designs and display, and sometimes I turn the display brightness up to +2 to make it a little easier to see. And you can also change the designs of the screen under here instead of on the left side. That is basically everything you need to know here about what's in the system here. Most of this other stuff can be left as is, unless you're getting in a used car and you can reset the settings here back to factory. You can close and open these vents here with these buttons. That'll close these two vents, and this one will close these two vents. There's a key within the key, and you have to press this button to open it. That'll allow you to valet the car, and you take your keys with you and leave this with the valet. And you can lock the glove compartment at the lock, and now no one can get in. And you can leave this, and you put the key back in here by pressing the button, and then sliding this back on in.